Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sugar Pills. And so, before we dive into today's topic, which is 3 steps to self validating your emotions, I wanted to quickly share with you that the waitlist is now open for our new course, which is the More Than Enough, the Self Love course. And the course is all about shifting your mindset from feeling unworthy to feeling, as you may have guessed it, more than enough. Really shifting from scarcity mindset to abundant mindset, from self-doubt to self-love. And all you have to do is just click the link in the show notes and you can get alerts for the new bonuses that we're going to add. You'll be on the list for the launch day. And if you are wondering what the course will entail, we have 3 core modules. And the first one is creating the awareness around your self-limiting beliefs that might be sabotaging your joy, your confidence, your power, and your success that you may not even be aware of. So the first step is really creating that awareness around what your self-limiting beliefs are. Our second module is cultivating the shift. So in that module, I do a deep dive into creating new mindsets, new thinking patterns, and new actions around loving yourself. And this is everything from what we're going to touch upon today, which is self-validation, to self-talk, into other, areas around that. So definitely something that will help you actually implement practical ways to cultivate self-love. And then our third module is all about cultivating self-forgiveness, because that's really the foundation of loving yourself, is viewing yourself as a human being that is worthy and deserving of your love, your compassion, and also your forgiveness. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. You don't have to be perfect all the time. Making a mistake doesn't mean you're not worthy or you're not good enough. So really cultivating the essential parts of forgiving yourself, because that's the first step. Forgive yourself for ever thinking that you weren't worthy. Forgive yourself for ever thinking that you weren't deserving. Forgive yourself for ever thinking that you weren't enough. And then implement the awareness and then get the tools to actually create that shift in your life. And then, of course, I always love to serve you. So I'm going to be adding in a lot of fun bonuses and a lot of freebies in the course that I'm cooking up right now. So be sure to grab your spot on the waitlist. Just click the link in the show notes and be sure to share this with a few of your friends and your loved ones, anyone that you think could really value from just upping their self-love game and just learning how to forgive themselves and step into, the beautiful and empowered life that is waiting for them. Be sure to share. So yes, waitlist is open for the course. Next up, don't forget to join us over on Patreon. We are building up a self-care tribe, which is just a community of everyone who's looking to up-level their self-love game, their self-worth, and their confidence, and just really, bossing up, which is exciting. So if you want some support over there, and then also if you want some exclusive content that's not available anywhere else other than on our Patreon channel. So be sure to join us. You can click the link in the show notes for that as well. And don't forget to join me over on Instagram. You will definitely get more personal stories, inspirational quotes, and behind the scenes content, and just get to know me a little bit more. I always want you to come and say hello and shoot me a DM, and that's at Candy Washington over on Instagram. And so now let's dive into today's topic, which is 3 steps into self-validating your emotions. So I first wanted to share why this is so meaningful to me. So I had to learn how to validate myself, and not just validate the choices I make in my life and not just validate what I want to do in my life, but actually validate myself, validate my own wants, needs, and feelings. I used to be the type of person that thought I always had to be happy. I always had to be upbeat, always had to be positive. And any feeling that wasn't sunshine and rainbows, happiness and joy, I really denied, suppressed, and invalidated, because there was a part of me that didn't believe that I deserved to feel all of my feelings. And that sounds bizarre, but trust me, if you are a person that has ever struggled with your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, you know that sometimes you feel as though if you're feeling bad, that means that there's something wrong with you, or that you always have to just be happy, happy, happy. But we all know that that's not real. And I just wanted to share with you guys a quote that I was really meditating on when I wrote this for you guys. And it's, I am a human being, and a part of experiencing all of the beauty that is inherent in my humanity is allowing myself to feel the full spectrum of emotions and feelings that are divinely available to me. I'm going to say that again because I think it's worth repeating. I am a human being, and a part of experiencing all of the beauty that is inherent in my humanity is allowing myself to feel the full spectrum of emotions and feelings that are divinely available to me. So I had to get in tune with the fact that a part of being a human being, a healthy, functioning human being, is experiencing and feeling all of the feelings. Feelings are for feeling. So I had to learn that when I felt sad, that was okay. When I was angry, that was okay. When I was, hurt, that was okay. And that embracing and allowing those feelings didn't mean that there was anything wrong with me. It didn't mean that I was weak. It didn't mean that I needed to be fixed. It just meant that I was human. And that's it. So learning to self-validate your own emotions is a part of experiencing your own humanity on such a deep level that really fosters self-love. Because if you truly love yourself, you will allow yourself to feel exactly what you're feeling in that moment without judgment, denial, or suppression. So the first step to get to that place is acknowledgement. Again, it might sound simple, but it can be difficult to lovingly acknowledge your emotions, especially if they're uncomfortable ones. So if you have, trauma-informed thinking patterns or unhealthy thinking patterns, you might think things like, I have to be strong. I can't be weak. I'm not allowed to feel this way. And you suppress, deny, and invalidate your own emotions. So to heal this response, start by gently acknowledging your emotions by putting a name to it without judgment. So when you have one of those uncomfortable emotions, sit down and really think about and even write it out, what are you feeling? And just put a name to it. So that might look something like this. Instead of saying, I'm too sensitive and I need to toughen up, try, I'm feeling sad. Instead of saying, I'm a loser and I don't have any friends, try, I'm feeling lonely. Instead of, my feelings don't matter. I don't deserve to feel this way. They're not important. Try, I'm feeling angry. Instead of, I'm fine, nothing bothers me. Try, I'm feeling hurt. Simply creating this space to acknowledge your feelings is so powerful and so healing, and it also takes away its power to hurt or to scare you, because the reality is your feelings don't actually have the power to do that. You have the power to lovingly acknowledge them, put a name to it without judgment, and just let yourself ride that wave, because the feelings will pass. They will go away. And that leads us to the second step, which is allowing. So now that you have acknowledged it, you've identified the feeling, now just allow the feeling to be. It's just permitting yourself to experience any emotion that you have, whether it's a manageable moment or an overwhelming situation. Let yourself ride that wave. Now, this isn't to say that you lose control or you become overcome with your emotions and you're out of control and you're being crazy and violent. None of that. And I don't mean crazy in a negative way. I don't want to put any stigma on anything. But I just mean, you can still feel your feelings. You can be angry without acting angry. You can be all of those things without acting out. And when you're able to self-validate your emotions, that's when you're able to self-regulate yourself. So when you can acknowledge it, I'm angry, and then you allow it, I'm allowing myself to be angry, I'm not judging it, I'm going to ride this wave, I'm feeling the anger, then you're able to control it and it doesn't control you. So self-regulating and allowing actually gives you more of the power over your emotions than you think. So that could sound a little bit like this. I give myself permission to experience this emotion. How I feel is completely normal and validated. There's nothing wrong with me for feeling this way. I feel this way, and that's okay. This emotion will pass, but for the present moment, the emotion is here. This emotion is uncomfortable, but it has no power to hurt me. Although I feel this emotion, it does not mean that I have to behave like this emotion. This emotion feels uncomfortable, but right now, it is what it is. So the next time that you become aware of yourself for having an emotion and then you find yourself judging your emotions, just refer back to these sentences or write down your own, personalize it, read them aloud to yourself and remind yourself that you have the power to lovingly allow yourself to accept and feel your emotions without them overtaking you. You really want to remember that you have your feelings do not have you. The third step to self-regulating your emotions and really being able to self-validate your emotions as well is through understanding. So a lot of times we will feel a feeling, we'll have an emotion, we'll think a thought, but do we take the time to step back and create context to create context around that emotion or that feeling? Why are we feeling this way based upon what happened? So you really want to cultivate self-validation through the process of understanding your emotions or creating that context of why you feel the way you feel. It's really about self-reflection. So if you have a self-love journal or, just on paper or wherever you write, I encourage you to write down what past experience led you to feeling those intense negative emotions. Think back to one time where you felt really hurt, really angry, really lonely, really upset, just whatever negative emotion comes up to you, and think about what were the circumstances, what were the facts that led me to feel that way. And remember, feelings aren't facts. You could feel angry, but that isn't a fact around the judgment about it. So, for example, instead of saying, I was being an idiot and it's my fault that I got so upset, I'm always way too sensitive. Your feelings aren't facts. It's not a fact that you're too sensitive. It's not a fact that you're an idiot. The only thing is that your feeling was that you were upset. So remember to separate those things. Separate the facts from the feelings. So you might want to try something more like this. It's natural to feel upset that they didn't return my call because I think that silence from people means that they are rejecting or abandoning me. Although I accept my feelings about this, I know that my feelings are not facts and I do not fear abandonment or rejection because they have no power over me. So you see the difference? One is you are making it a fact that you are an idiot and you're too sensitive and that's why you got upset and all of this stuff. You are making the judgments and the criticisms about yourself a fact, which is not true. That's all based in your fear. Rather than saying, it's natural to feel upset, you're acknowledging it. I feel upset. And then you're allowing it. They didn't return my call, and I think that silence from people means that they are rejecting or abandoning me. Though I accept my feelings about this, you're accepting them, you're allowing them to be, then you're creating the understanding around it. I know that my feelings are not facts, and I do not need to fear abandonment or rejection because they have no power over me. So you are acknowledging the feeling, I feel upset. You're allowing it to happen. I accept my feelings about this, that they are what they are. I'm feeling it, it's here. And then you're creating context. I feel upset because my fear is that when they don't do this, it means that they are rejecting or abandoning me. But I know that my fears have no power over me. I know that that's not real. You're creating context and understanding. So when you shine a light on your emotions, You acknowledge, allow, and understand them. You take away their power to hurt you because they really can't, and they really have no power over you other than the power that you give them. And when you shine a light on that and you acknowledge it, you're able to validate yourself. You don't need anyone to tell you that you have a right to be angry, that you have a right to be upset, that you have a right to be lonely, you have a right to be mad. No one has to tell you what you have a right to. Only you can tell you what you have a right to. So you acknowledge, allow, and understand your emotions without judgment. You validate yourself. And then you take away their power to make you fear them or to make you be hurt by them. Because what you acknowledge, allow, and understand has no power over you anymore. So you don't have to be scared of anger or scared of hurt or scared of loneliness or whatever other emotion comes up. You don't need to be scared of them. So you no longer need to deny them or suppress them or invalidate them, which are all just responses to fear, because you feel that if I allow myself to feel this, I'm going to be overtaken by it. If I allow myself to feel this, then I'm somehow weak or stupid or whatever. If I allow myself to feel this, somehow something's wrong with me. But when you acknowledge, allow, and understand, you take away the fear. So those are the 3 steps to self-validating your own emotions. Acknowledge whatever emotion you have, put a name to it without judgment. Allow yourself to feel it, but knowing that it's not going to overtake you and it is what it is. This emotion too shall pass, but this is just how I'm feeling right now. And then understand it. Create some context around it. What are the facts? What are the actual facts that led up to me feeling this way? And then you're able to separate, well, these are the facts versus what are the, feelings or beliefs that may or may not be true, because feelings are not facts. So if you found this episode of value, be sure to please like, subscribe, rate, and review, and share with a couple of your friends. See if someone else wants to level up their self-care and their self-love game. And always join me over on Instagram at Candy Washington. Join our self-care tribe on Patreon, and get on the wait list for the new More Than Enough course. Yeah, everything's available in the show notes. So until next time, be well and with love, Candy.